Hello all, welcome to this data science full stack course. This course is curated based on the industry need, the current trend in the market, based on the research on the important technologies and the top-notch concepts in the data science. Okay, so this course is used to to become a full stack data scientist, to learn and leverage the data science techniques and Python programming for your success, for your organization's success. My name is Ganesh. I work as a software developer, a mentor, a coach for data science and machine learning techniques. This video gives you the glimpse on the coverage for data science full stack course, the techniques used, tools used for the data science project to implement the end-to-end data science project, right? That's a full stack life cycle approach for data science. Specially designed for the engineers, analysts, data specialists, data scientists, project managers and product managers and program managers, the developers, DevOps professionals, and anybody who is having interest in data science, so data science enthusiasts, right? So we have a very good coverage for becoming an end-to-end data scientist, where we are not limited to just the basics of data science and some of the statistical modeling, but we have this end-to-end cycle where anybody can fit into the entire project life cycle of a data scientist, right? So let's begin, and before I jump onto the core concepts and the coverage what we have in this full stack course, let's have a quick understanding about what data science is. Okay, so data science is the computer science. It is the application of computer science where we use the statistics, mathematics and domain expertise to solve a business problem. Okay, to make the effective decision. This is a scientific process for converting raw data into knowledge. Okay, and this knowledge will help us to take a decision in the businesses. So today a lot of companies have a lot of data, and they have been collecting for years and maybe for decades, and they don't know what to do with the data, right? So that's where the data scientists come in picture, where we can provide some important insights about the data. So they use this data to find the pattern, to find the customer behavior, and this can be used to improve your business, improve the revenue or the customer experience or the decision making in your businesses. Okay, so today every business faces the problems, right? So be it a sales or marketing or finance, supply chain, logistics, so healthcare, so whatever domain we talk about. Okay, so there are challenges and there is a need of analyzing the business, analyzing the trend based on the historical data pattern and the trend, and not necessarily with your business, but it can be for other businesses or the competitors, and that helps us to make some intelligent decisions in our business. So that is where the data science comes in picture. That helps us to find out the knowledge out of the data, what is there with you. Okay, so I will take a example. For example, the telecom operator, let's say assume that the customer churn management is the problem for the telecom operators, and we know, right? So customer churn means when the customer leaves your services and probably avail the services from your competitor, so there's a revenue loss, right? And to recover this, we need more customers to overcome that, right? So data science can help use the historical data. So for example, if I take one particular operator, and this operator may have some historical data where the customers left their services and joined some other customer. So based on the historical data for last 1 year or 2 years or 5 years or 10 years maybe, right? So we can use this data to understand and to predict the customers, those who may leave your services. right? So that kind of predictions can be made based on the historical data, and the data is available with the operator itself, right? So the data science helps us to have more insights, understand the trend, and decide or predict something which is unknown at this moment, right? So that is something that can be used to predict the unknown, that can be used to predict the future. Okay, so this is about the data science. So there are many cases, many use cases, or many problems you can discuss. It can be banking system, where the churn management is another important aspect for banking as well. We can help banks or operators to retain their customers, right? And that's something every business wants to retain their customers, to make sure their customer base is strong, and data science can help in this area as well, right? So other examples could be purchasing behavior, the patterns and the recommendations, the credit score analysis, the fraud detection. So there are so many examples around us where we need the analytics or data science to apply, to use some kind of a predictions, be it a healthcare or a Google search, or lot many things, right, where there are a lot of information available, and we want to learn the facts about the data, and then we can probably help the businesses to make some better decisions. Okay, there is a data science methodology. There is a standard methodology, the approach which is accepted across the industry, something called CRISP-DM model, right? Cross industry for data modeling, right? So we have, let's say, business understanding. That's the very first step for any data science project. So that can be used to identify your business problem, what exactly you are trying to solve, right? The feasibility, the scope, the priority, right? The decision, what we are trying to make out of what is that you are looking for, and what all things we need, right? What kind of the problem we are solving, and around that we have to make certain decisions, right? So that is the first step, the very first and important step to understand your business problem, right? So that is a business analysis. I would say it's a feasibility, it's a planning, it's a stakeholders reviews, evaluation, prioritization, and the requirement planning. So those are all the steps which is the most important before we really kickstart anything in the data science project, right? The next step would be analyzing your data. Okay, so that's where it's pretty important to understand what data we have and what are the data sources we may have to collect the data which is relevant, which is useful for this particular business objective, right? So we have to decide on what how much data we want and what are the sources we have. We may have the business can give some data, or your vendors can give some data, your partners can give some data. So we should understand what exactly our business objective is, and what all data might be useful or relevant for this objective to achieve. Correct? So that's where the data understanding, that's the second step in the entire process. The third is the data preparation. This is the most important part for any predictive modeling, if you are thinking about. So this is the stage where we do want to transform the data, so it can be put into a statistical modeling for a predictive purpose. So it is a machine learning technique where we need to have data into certain format, right? So that kind of analysis is required, and preparation is required. So this is what the stage of data preparation is. Okay, so usually a lot of time is required. One should put enough time to really prepare your data to make sure that this data can be used, and bring some important modeling out of the machine learning techniques or deep learning techniques. Okay. The next is the modeling. That is where the actual machine learning happens. So we train the model based on the historical data. So at this stage we have enough data from different sources, which is properly available, which is clean data, so prepared well before we really feed that into a machine learning. So that is the stage where we can go for different machine learning techniques or deep learning concepts, and that's where we freeze or we train our model so that this model will be ready for serving us for predicting the future, right? So and obviously this model is getting trained based on the historical data, right? So that's the relationship the model is bringing out for us, and based on the mathematics and statistics and some computer programming. So those models are available for us, which we want to evaluate as the next step, right? So that's where we understand how well our model is doing to solve and to meet our business objective. Okay, so from evaluation we have to revisit our business understanding before we really go and deploy it, because that is where the process could be a repetitive one, where once you got a model which is where you want to evaluate, you understand how much business objective is met out of this entire process, and if there is some kind of a tuning required, so we can hyper tune this model based on the business feedback, and once it is ready, then we can deploy this in the production, right? So that's the next step where the deployment is required. Okay, so this is the end-to-end process for data science. So we are in this particular course, we are going thoroughly into each part of this entire steps of the process, and we have a step-by-step approach to practically achieve how we can build a particular model, including your data processing, understanding, and the product management stuff, and then the evaluation and the deployment, right? So there are some different roles. You might have heard about this, or you may see this such kind of different roles are there in the industry today. So it again depends on the project to project, but majorly these are the professionals, these are the group of people who can achieve the business objective with the help of data science project. So at every stage we have different roles there. So as I said, business analyst, who is responsible for analyzing the business objective, the feasibility, the evaluation, planning, requirement planning, and so on, right? Interacting with the various stakeholders, partners, your vendors. So that's the role, and the data engineer who is close to data. So the data engineer has to do so many things, not only to find out the sources, but get the data, collect it, then put into a relevant repository from where the machine learning engineer can access it. So they may need to work with the big data technologies, they may need to work with the databases like SQL or RDBMS or NoSQL databases. So whatever is the sources, right, we have to extract the data, process the data, analyze the data, and that is a lot of data. Okay, so all this data is now available with the data engineers, and they put into a particular location from where the machine learning engineer can pick the data and pre-process the data, right? So pre-processing is a task, mostly the collective task. It is done by the data engineers and the machine learning engineers based on, again, different teams. A machine learning engineer can also analyze and pre-process the data, right? So where it is mostly the exploratory data analysis on the existing data, and making sure that there are no missing information, there is no irrelevant data available in your data set, and applying some statistical modeling, some visualization techniques to make sure that data is clean, and need to feed this to a machine learning algorithm, right? So that's where the statistical modeling is happening, and once the machine learning engineer, who is also responsible to choose the right model for your business objective, right? So that's where you get the right model, you train the model, and by the way, these all things are step-by-step approach, and we will be going through each of these steps, where we will be learning about what are the different models available, what are the different algorithms available, and how to choose the best algorithm which suits your business requirement, right? So data scientist is the one who generally interferes into various stages. Data scientist is one who is basically the hybrid role. All the tasks he take care of. So usually in the evaluation where there is a possibility of hyperparameter tuning, optimizing your model to get your better accuracy, and then revisiting your business understanding, business objective, the stakeholders, communication between all of the partners and stakeholders before we really finalize this, right? Visualization engineer is another role. You may see this in some of the organizations where we want to evaluate with the help of some reports, some dashboards. So that is the place where we can represent this to the businesses, right? So once everything is good, then the DevOps comes in picture, and the deployment strategies is finalized along with the data scientist, along with the product manager and the DevOps engineer. So once we have finalized the deployment strategy, it could be microservices based, or it could be AWS or cloud based deployment. So that's where the deployment happens, and the monitoring happens on this model which is deployed. Okay, so this is the end-to-end life cycle. It's very interesting, guys. So a lot of things there, a lot of things to learn. In fact, on every stage there are so many things which we will be discussing throughout this course. But today in this video, it's a very short and a brief description about what all things we are going to learn, right? So there is some prerequisite. To be honest, everybody can learn data science from scratch and master it, right? So only important thing is a little bit of mathematics and statistics, and I'm sure a lot of people whoever have learned this in the schools or their graduations, that helps here. Okay, and some bit of programming concepts, right? If you have some basic programming understanding, that is the value addition. But otherwise, if you have a great determination, dedication, consistency and confidence, I'm sure anybody can make it in the domain of data science. Okay, so primarily there are three key skills which I think is pretty important for one to really do something in the data science domain. That is statistics. That is where the statistical modeling or machine learning, predictive modeling we use, and computer programming. So there is a lot given by the computer science today, and we are grateful to have so many things available which is readily available in the market, like Python or R or a lot of programming languages, and there are so many free and open source tools which does all this work automatically for us. And the last important thing is domain knowledge, right? So if you know what is the business objective, that makes your life easy, and that makes your decisions or processing of your data, so that makes you easy, and that is something is most important thing to know. Okay, there are a couple of other important skills like problem solving and communication. Why communication? Because we have to revisit to the business, to various stakeholders, so before we really finalize on, because there is a investment involved, there is a final predictions we are thinking about bringing some value addition to the business. So we have to revisit again and again to make sure that we are on the track to achieve the business objective, right? So there are some top data scientist skills: machine learning, data visualization and interpersonal skills, statistical analysis, problem solving and programming. So we will be touching upon all these aspects in this program, okay, where the more focus would be on machine learning, data science approach for solving any data science objective using some programming techniques, like Python is the one we are choosing here because that's where the industry is moving, that's where the developers community is preferred languages, and we will be working with that. Okay, so yeah, to manage the team, strong communication, business acumen and the great data intuition, because data is everything, right? Data plus intuition gives you a better decision making capability, right? So there is a data science objective and a toolkit. We will probably learn more about these aspects of your data science, where we would be applying some regression analysis or the classification or anomalies detection, association. We may find out the association rules, how to find out especially in the retail industry, how to find out the relationship or the customer behavior, that helps us to have some kind of analysis and predictions for future, right? So clustering, it is grouping the similar objects, where we will say the customer segmentation or any kind of grouping what we want to do comes under this. And there's a time series analysis as well, right? So what you need to learn is more or less we have covered. So most important thing I would like to highlight here is some basic of statistics and programming. Okay, so programming, one language is good enough. So Python is the one someone can easily learn, and easy programming language, it is powerful programming language. So we will use Python as a programming language, and rest of the techniques are taken care with the help of some of the libraries by Python. Okay, so data science is a multidisciplinary field. Okay, so here what I mean is this is a whole domain, a new domain, or it is not new, in fact it is a whole but a new thing today because of the data, where we have a lot of data is growing exponentially, and we want to bring the facts about the world, what the data we have, and that one wants to seek and study and explore. Okay, so there are so many domains out of this, so many fields to study as a part of data science. So we will be touching upon the most important aspects of data science, that is statistical modeling and machine learning, some bit of artificial intelligence, and artificial intelligence and deep learning. These are the areas where we do provide some statistics and predictions for the based on the data, right? So there are some other fields as well, like computer science and statistics and mathematics we have already discussed, data mining as part of your data pre-processing, and natural language processing, where if it is unstructured data, especially the text data, we have some techniques and tools to process that data. Okay, and the last but not the least, the domain knowledge. Okay, wherever you are working, whatever business you are thinking about applying data science, so we need to have some domain knowledge, some expertise on what we are working on. Okay, so we have already discussed about the job roles. I don't want to take much time there, but here I would like to highlight a couple of important things. Here is the tools and techniques or the technologies we use, right? You may find this R or SAS or Java or Python. So there are so many libraries available, so many programming languages or tools available in the market. But Python becomes one-stop solution today for a lot of data scientists. Preferable language is this because of so many reasons. Python is quite old and stable programming language. It is a high level and easy to learn by anybody, right? So that's the advantage. We have so many powerful libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and scikit-learn. So those are some of the libraries which can be used for your data analytics and data science projects. We have various data exploration, data mining and profiling tools, and the predictions and machine learning libraries like scikit-learn, sklearn. We have statistical calculations, we have automatic garbage collection, we have support for the big data like Hadoop and Spark. We have modules like PyDoop and PySpark. So those are some of the important features that attracts for most of the professionals in data science to use Python for everything. So we don't have to switch. If you are working on some web development, we have Django. That's a Python based framework which can help us to deploy your end-to-end website development. Boto 3 is there for AWS connectivity. and you can use Python for robotics, machine learning, biometrics, natural language processing. So the whatever is the domain, right, the industrial digitization and automation and the smart manufacturing, so whatever you talk, this programming language has taken a very important vital role in their development and in their processes and the operations. Okay, so that's one of the reason that we choose Python as your primary language for some of the real-time project which we will be working on. We will be working on some of the case studies in this program. So we will be implementing using Python, and we will deploy that, right? And that's the aim, that's the goal of the entire program, which is we're working on this for the full stack data scientist, where we use Python and important techniques in the domain of data science and implement and deploy those. Okay, so the whole journey started with data, because the one of the most crucial part here is the data, because because of the data today we have so much to really do. Okay, so if you understand, a lot of data has been generated in the recent years. Okay, so that's the data explosion, right? And that has brought us the opportunities to do something in AI and ML, right? There are business opportunities to not only get more revenue for any business, but it is more about customer experience, more about the business decisions, the processes. So that's where we can use data science, and I would say there is a revolution yet to happen, right? Why I say that is because there's a lot of data getting generated every minute, every day today, right? If you check, if you see the statistics, so on internet every minute there are a lot of things happening here. 30 hours of video is uploaded, 1.3 million videos are getting viewed every minute. So every minute 2+ million searches are happening on Google. So every minute we have 277,000 logins on Facebook. So there are so many LinkedIn accounts are getting created, so many photos are getting viewed, 20 million plus on Flickr. So new tweets, more than 100,000 new tweets, new Twitter accounts are getting created. So 61,000 plus hours of music is getting played every minute. And moreover, there are mobile users, there are smartphones. These phones are growing like anything, and we have so many apps getting downloaded. So every activity which you can see on the screen today is the data generating activity. Okay, so we are generating immeasurable data, amount of data, and more than that, this data is growing exponentially, right? And that is the revolution we are talking about. So if you see the statistics, 2.5 quintillion bytes of data is getting generated every day on the internet. Okay, and that's huge. Okay, today if you see the total data available is approximately 40 zettabytes. So imagine, this is really huge data, right? If I want to download the whole data today, it takes more than 180 million years to download that. I'm assuming the 40 Mbps is a nice speed, or decent speed we are considering, right? So that much is the data available, and not every data is used today. Okay, so data science is new norm for the businesses, especially post pandemic, the world is moving today. Because of COVID-19 or any kind of such situations, the world wants to analyze the data, right? So government wants data scientists today, right? So that's where we see that 90% of the organizations are investing in big data, investing in data science, investing in artificial intelligence, and that's where the revolution is happening. Okay, so when I say data revolution, so data is huge. A lot of data has been already generated, and the lot many things are already coming in, right? For example, machine to machine talk, or the home broadband, or the autonomous car, or the IoT, or 5G. So all these things are another revolution which is going to bring us for the data, right? So we want to bring this importance into the data science, because that's where we will learn and understand how the world is moving today. So what is the revolution happening? Okay, so I would say it is the revolution similar to the revolution happened, let's say 150 years ago, when Thomas Edison have generated something called electricity, right? The businesses are transformed, the industries were transformed that time, right? So similar transformation 40 years ago when there was internet. So internet has transformed many businesses, right? So mall plus website was the internet now. So every businesses came on internet, right? And the next revolution, next true digital transformation is something which brings to us is AI, right? So artificial intelligence. So any company today with the deep learning, with the AI concept is the AI company today. Any company who want to do the data science, want to apply the data science and the scientific algorithms on data, so they become more intelligent companies today, because they are applying this with the data and improving their businesses, strategic data acquisitions, new roles, automation, data warehouse. So all the revolution is happening with the help of the data today. Okay, so yeah, that's something important, because I thought of sharing, and there are many things we are going to discuss as part of this training. So there is a different types of data, structured and unstructured data. So when I say structured, it is a CSV or Excel data what you see, and some of the data you might see on the databases, RDBMS, or the SQL or NoSQL databases. So we will be discussing in this course the detailed study about what databases are required to learn, what is database, how to use MySQL. We will deep dive on some of the database. Maybe we go with the database called MySQL. It's easy, secure, open source, scalable, and it has a good market share, and a lot of companies uses this. So we will learn any one of the RDBMS, BMS is enough to learn, and we will be taking a deep dive on some of the database techniques. Okay. So before I move on with the machine learning, I would like to highlight a quick thing about the statistics. So it is a study, or we collect the data, we analyze the data, and we process it to make some output or the result out of the data, right? So the data scientists collect the data, explore it, analyze it, and visualize it, right? And that's where we can then apply the models to find the pattern and the solutions in the data. Okay, it is no more with the gut feeling now, it is more about the statistics. Okay, so that's where we do something called data analytics. So the data analytics is the process where we do examine the data set, and we find out the hidden patterns or the correlations or the trends, right? So the useful information, in short, okay, that can help the organizations to make better informed business decisions. Okay, there are three types of data analytics: descriptive, prescriptive, and the predictive analysis, right? So we will be going through this in detail today. I will just give you little highlights about what is descriptive, so that helps us to know what is happening right now. Okay, and the prescriptive is what we can do or how to use that data and suggest the organization in order to solve the problem or get some benefit out of this data, right? A predictive is where we are talking about a machine learning. So what kind of predictions we can make, right? How to know the future or unknown, right? So this is the techniques which uses or enables machines to act and make the data driven decisions. Okay, so some of the basic statistics we will be learning about. That's pretty simple, I think, but those who don't even recall, that's okay, because we will be covering everything in thoroughly in this course, where we will be building a step by step process to follow and learn, so that you can directly apply these learnings on your real-time projects. Okay, so visualization, I have not so many things on the visualization right now in the session, but yes, we have visualization topics where we will learn how to visualize, how to perform exploratory data analysis, understand the trends, understand the data with the help of visual effects, and we will be learning more about visualization as well, right? So this is the overall analytics platform which can be used, where we know that there are a lot of data generating activities like e-commerce data, the services, sensors, social media, geospatial data, right, SaaS systems, corporate data, right, the banking systems. So lot many things are there, right? So those are all data generating activities, and when we have this data, now there are different processing engines. We may have a big data where we want to process the big data. We have Hadoop, Spark, right, or the SQL databases. So we have these databases to perform some big data activities. Then the data lakes is there. Then there are some NoSQL databases for quick access of the huge amount of data. So we have NoSQL like Mongo or any other NoSQL databases. Then the data warehousing, where we have data warehouse, and we can put the data for long and access this as and when we need it, right? So that's where the later part, which is AI and machine learning, that is predictive analysis, right? So we apply this, we pull out this data, and usually the better tools in the market is R or SAS or Python. So we will be working on this whole procedure with the help of Python. We will learn how to hook a particular database and bring or pull out the data onto your system, and process or pre-process that data, and then apply the statistical modeling on that, right? So Python is something which can be used for end-to-end deployment of a model, development and deployment of a model using machine learning. So we will learn about how to do that. And then once we are ready with our model, so a lot of times we have to work with the businesses and the operations to present this, right, what we are doing actually, right? So that's where there are some visualization techniques and tools. We can use some of the libraries which is available in Python, but other tools like Power BI or Tableau, so many other tools are available in the market, so those can be used here. Okay, so this is the end-to-end analytics platform, and I hope you have some understanding about some of these domains, these areas here. But in this course we will be focusing about the end-to-end, right? And that's where I said initially we will be learning on some database techniques, technologies. We will deep dive on one of the databases, and then we will be learning about statistics, we will be learning about machine learning, we will be learning about some overview of AI and a programming language called Python. So that helps us to achieve our goal, our business objective, that is end-to-end entire life cycle of data science, and that's why we name it as a full stack data science professional, right? So that is all about this course. I have some bit about machine learning, because machine learning is a core part of data science. So data science is a bigger domain, and we have machine learning where we apply the statistical modeling on your data, and we can use the techniques, tools available in the machine learning, and we can achieve the digital transformation with the help of data. So data science is all about the making some important decision, applying some tools. It can be machine learning, it can be deep learning, it can be any artificially intelligent system or mechanism. The final goal is to achieve what the objective is we are looking for. Okay, so we may apply the image recognition or voice recognition or robotics or AI techniques. So everything comes under data science, because data science is a bigger domain, right, the whole things comes under data science. Okay, so the application of scientific algorithms, so it can be deep learning, it can be machine learning, or it can be any technique where we make our systems to learn and make some predictions based on the historical data. So machine should find out the relationship between the various features or parameters of the data which is available today, so that the same mathematics or same logic can be applied on the future data, right? So how accurately we can do that is what we want to achieve, and that's where the model optimization we will be learning going forward. Okay, so machine learning is a subset of AI, and AI and machine learning is a part of data science. Okay, data science is a bigger picture. In that we apply any technique, be it AI, be it machine learning, be it deep learning, so be it a simple maths or statistics, to bring some relationship and to predict something, to give some knowledge about your data, is all about the data science. Okay, so machine learning provides the ability to learn automatically and improve with the experiences, right? And that's where the machine works on the historical data to find out the relationship between the features of the data and the dependent variable, that is the target variable, to apply some of the algorithms, some of the complex mathematical algorithms, so that we can achieve the predictions what we want to make. Okay, so machine is serving you, right? That's what the machine learning is. Machine learning can process machines can process lot of transactions today, right? But machines are not intelligent, right? So if we have more and more data, so machine can become intelligent, machine can learn out of the data, right? And then machine can serve you, a machine can mimic the human behavior. Okay, so that's where the machine learning is, where we have complex algorithms, mathematical functions and statistical modeling, so we can apply the intelligence to perform this task and make the decisions, right? So there are so many examples: smart homes, the home appliances, the sensors interconnected, so the smart games today, smartphones today, so everything is smart cars, that is autonomous cars, smart banking, so smart manufacturing, so security systems, Alexa device you might have experienced. So all these things are actually the principle behind this is to make machines learn things from the data, and a machine should think like a human and take day-to-day decisions. So the reasoning ability, problem solving, and generalized learning, so that is what the things are incorporated in the machine, so that machines can work for us based on the historical data. Okay, and to make some decisions. So that is the goal, that is what the data science can bring us, and that's why bring to us, that's why this is one of the important aspect of data science which we are going to learn and explore about. Okay, so this is a simple life cycle. I think we have discussed the similar thing in the CRISP DM model in the very first or second slide. So that's the step-by-step approach how we train, but yes, hold on, these are all the topics we will be learning with the examples, with the live data, with real-time data, and trying to build a model which can do such predictions based on our data sets, right? So there are machine learning types. This is another important deep dive when we want to go into machine learning. So I'm not going to cover in this particular video, but we have separate videos for the machine learning different types, the supervised, unsupervised machine learning, where we will see what are the types of machine learning algorithms we have, and how we can use different problems, we can solve different problems using different algorithms available, right? So the regression, the classification, right, we may have algorithms like logistic regression, support vector machine, KNN, Naive. So those are some of the libraries which can be used for solving your classification problems. We may have some regression problems, we can use linear regression or polynomial regression to solve some regression problems, and we have something called clustering problems that comes under unsupervised machine learning, right? So we may discuss something on the clustering there, where we will have some clustering algorithms like k-means clustering and agglomerative clustering, right? So in reinforcement learning, where the agent learns with the experiences and the challenges thrown by the environment, so that is where the area where the learning happens with the experience, and we will be learning there is something called q-learning algorithm. Okay, so this is the supervised machine learning. Unsupervised machine learning, where we will be taking this deep dive along with some good examples and some data sets. We will do this practical approach on how to solve a supervised machine learning problems, how to solve a problem using supervised machine learning, and using unsupervised machine learning, especially for the grouping, for the clustering problems, customer segmentation, right? So those are some of the examples. Now we will see what agent is, what environment is, how your agent learns. The examples are like chatbots or the game or chess game. So all these things comes under reinforcement learning, and the autonomous car as well. And then we have a bit of AI, so artificial intelligence, what AI is and how the AI is basically helping us to have some of the important aspects of data. And using data science, these are some of the applications that may help you to relate this term, but we will be doing some deep dive on the overview of AI. Okay, so that's what I was trying to brief, and here I would like to summarize our discussion about data science, where data science is a bigger term in which we have AI, we have machine learning, we have deep learning, we apply the statistics, apply computer programming, and achieve the business objective. Okay, so yeah, that's all for this video. So in the next discussions, we will be going through the detailed approach and the practical approach for all the topics what we have discussed today, and there's a step-by-step approach for achieving what we are looking for out of this, the objective which is defined for us in the in the first slide for the data science methodology, right? So this is the end-to-end approach, and this course is curated based on the requirement and based on the need today, where one should understand the entire flow right from the business understanding to the deployment. So there are a lot many stages, and every stage there are a lot many things we are going to explore as part of this course, right? I'm very excited, guys, to deep dive with each of the topics which we have discussed. So thanks for the watching me, and see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.